Hey, what's up YouTube? It is Melanie back with Melanie Loves Death Metal. Got a thrash metal special today. I am finally going to be showing off the Under the Guillotine Kreator vinyl box set that came out like a month ago now. Bought this as a gift for myself when I got my bonus from work this year, so got lucky, bought it for retail. Now I think it's incredibly hard to find places, but yeah, it's pretty phenomenal. So the box is really good quality, has all these really cool pictures. Obviously there's the demon, the Kreator, and then on the side is markings, and then obviously the top comes off like a blade. So yeah, this has been a lot of fun these last couple of, I think like 2 weeks now since I've had this. I've listened to every single album in here. I've gone back into nostalgia, and yeah, I'm just really happy I bought this. So if you're looking for this, I've seen it on Amazon for $200, which is $50 more than what I paid for retail, so that's not too bad considering I think on Discogs is going for an insane amount. So if you're still looking for this, it's out there places. Some record stores have them, but yeah, so let's get started. There is a lot of really good little goodies that came in here, so I'll show those off first before I get to the records. When you open it up, there's this box in there that has all the special goodies. It folds open and they're all placed in there. So let me show what comes in here if you're not familiar. First things first, this is a little demon doll, but it's not just a demon doll, it is a USB, and it has all of the albums on MP3s on here, and I believe there's extra songs and whatever else. I have not plugged this into my computer yet to take a peep at anything, but yeah, I thought this was a nice little added touch. I'll probably keep it in the box because I don't want to lose it, and my children will probably take it and play with it as a toy. So that's the first thing in there. The second thing in there is probably what I think is one of the coolest things to be offered in a box set, but this is a demo. It's not the real demo, obviously, it's a repress, but back when they were called Tormentor. So this was, it's like just a tape of all the demos. It's, you know, they made it look old school with the stickers on there, and then the J card, you know, old school looking. And then it's just, yeah, so I actually have not listened to this yet. This is the only thing I have not checked out in. But yeah, I thought this was a nice little added touch to the box set. So yeah, that's in there too. And then finally in this little box is a DVD. Some Pain Will Last. This is, first there's a documentary, and then there's also a live concert on here. So I have not watched this yet, and I will admit my DVD player isn't even plugged in. But I will probably pop this on this weekend, since we don't really have much going on. It's Easter weekend, but we're not really doing anything, so we don't celebrate Easter. But yeah, thought that was cool. And the box is really good quality. It's got, you know, really nice little images all over the place. So yeah, that's the first thing that comes in the box. The second thing that I wanted to show off is there is this really nice booklet in here. It's really nice quality. It has all of these amazing pictures of the guys in the band. That's probably some of my favorite. And it talks about the albums and how they decided to write certain songs and how they decided to name certain albums and stuff like that. So this was pretty cool. I actually looked through all this already. I haven't read through it all, but I just, you know, I scanned through it, but really nice. This alone was worth the purchase for me besides the vinyl. I always love when box sets come with these special books. So, and just so you guys know, Kreator is probably one of my favorite bands. I think that goes without saying for a lot of people as well. So probably not at all surprising. And if anybody does not familiar with Kreator, they are a band from Germany, a thrash metal band, probably one of the most iconic thrash metal bands. I rank them above Metallica and Slayer and Anthrax and the big four of the US. So yeah, I mean, that's just my opinion. Some people might disagree with me, but this is the first band that ever really got me into thrash metal. First time I ever heard them, I just loved the speed, the aggression. I loved Millie's vocals, and just everything about it. They're still pumping out albums. I think their last one came out in 2017. So I currently only have these six albums on vinyl. But there's so many other ones that I still need to get. Some of them are a little bit harder to get, and some are easier to find because they're a little bit newer. So this is my current mission, to get the rest of the discography. I love their newer stuff. Some people are not a big fan of it. I think it's great still. I guess as a fan, I'm one of those fans that just loves everything they put out. Even one of these albums that is very divisive. So with that said, let's get started with the very first one in this box set, Endless Pain, debut full length. And just so everybody knows, these are all the full lengths that were back on Noise Records back in the day. That's the whole theme around this box set. So if you have not heard this album, please do yourself a favor, stop watching this video and go listen to it. This is easily one of my favorite Kreator albums. I know it's cliche because it's their first album, but like, they do some stuff on here that's almost borderline death metal, but it's definitely a thrash metal classic. All of them come with these really nice printed inner sleeves with promoting some albums. I've read that these aren't the actual promos that were on the sleeves back when these were first released. I think most of them were just plain white, or they had like 3 or 4 albums on here. But yeah, they kind of tried to replicate back how they were. And then obviously there's a picture of back when they were a 3-piece. So every single one of these vinyls are colored, which is, you know, a nice touch. I know some people prefer black, but the color was definitely another selling point. So this is a really nice purple and yellow variant, like a merge. It matches the album cover really nicely. And these all sound fantastic. I made sure to listen to all of them before I did this unboxing, or this showing off, or whatever the hell it's called, and just to see how they sounded, and I think they sound great. So yeah, classic, amazing album. Definitely, just that alone is worth the buy, because I haven't been able to get these. You know, I think they did a repress of these like 2 years ago, but I missed out on those. So anyway, second one, Pleasure to Kill, classic. I think this is probably a lot of people's favorites. At least people that I'm friends with have said that. There they go. They're now 4-piece. So again, the ad on the front, and then there's a collage of images there. So really nice quality printed sleeves. This one comes on this phenomenal red and black splatter that matches the album cover perfectly. This, again, probably one of my favorite albums of theirs. So this is what I was talking about the other day when I was showing off the Undeath record. Their drummer, the drums in the Undeath record remind me of this album. There's a couple of parts on Undeath where the snare sounds similar to what you would hear on this album. So I whenever I listen to Undeath, I always think of Pleasure to Kill. And for some reason, I could not think of the name of this album. In my video the other day, I was having a really bad brain fart. But anyway, that's the second one. Third one, again, just classic. This stuff makes me so happy when I'm going through it. Terrible Certainty. Got the demon there. This is probably one of my favorite album covers that they have. Just little sassy demon. And then on the back, iconic, obviously. Everybody knows the Kreator demon. And then pictures of the band playing. This album is fantastic. What else is there to be said that hasn't already been said? Obviously, there's that. And then the lyrics. They now started changing them to put the lyrics on this. I was reading that the font of this or something is a little bit different, but it's similar to how these were when they first were pressed. And this comes on a really nice, like milky clear with red splatter. So this matches the album cover perfectly as well. Again, iconic classic album. Just the demon starts to appear. This is, you know, what people know Kreator with the Kreator demon. For me personally, there's always this conversation, and you're not going in the inner sleep for some reason. There's always this conversation of like, oh, the Kreator demon or Eddie from Iron Maiden. And it's like, I don't think they even really compare, but whatever. So yeah, that's terrible certainty. Again, I feel like if you haven't heard these first 3 albums, please stop watching this video and go listen to them. Just instant classics. All right, the next one is probably my least favorite cover ever. But whatever, it's not the worst thing in the world, but that is Extreme Aggression. I guess when you're seeing this versus this, like obviously I'm gonna pick this over that, but whatever. Does not take away from this being an amazing album. They're really starting to progress on their thrash sound. This is, again, another phenomenal album. And this one has some liner notes, and then it talks through singles and their first albums, and then lyrics on that side. And then this one is a nice orange and black half and half, which matches the album cover. So they did a really good job of putting these color vinyls out that matched all the album covers. And again, they sound fantastic. So yeah, and this is another one I feel like if you haven't heard this, please stop and go listen to it. Great stuff. So, 5th one, my favorite Kreator album of all time, Coma of Souls. Yeah, I mean, I just feel like this can't be topped, unfortunately for me. This is the first time I ever heard Kreator. I'm trying to think when this came out. I don't remember. Unfortunately, it doesn't say the years on the back of this. It's just the years that they were pressed. I don't remember when these came out. I was very little. But yeah, when I got a little bit older, about 9-10 years old, I started listening to metal music, and this was one of the first ever Kreator albums that I had heard from, obviously, my brother, who's a lot older than me. And it comes on this really nice silver and red splatter that matches, again, the album cover perfectly. So yeah, this is definitely my favorite Kreator album. A lot of nostalgia to this because I had it on tape and just destroyed that tape because I was young and didn't take care of my music like I should have. So one of my bigger regrets is I wish I still had this. So yeah, this is just fantastic. And I feel like I don't really need to talk anymore else about this one because this is obviously one of their popular albums, and as well as the last 4 that I've shown. So, and then the 6th and final album in this collection is, like I said earlier, probably one of the most divisive Kreator albums that have come out. This is Renewal. And the reason around that is because this sounds so much different than the last 5 that were previously released. It's a slower Kreator, I guess you could say. It's a little bit more progressive sounding in a sense. The vocals are definitely a lot different. Yeah, either people love this album or they absolutely hate it, or they're just indifferent and like, oh yeah, it's whatever. For me, I think this album was fantastic. I actually, out of all of these are the 2 that I've listened to the most the last couple of weeks. I hadn't listened to this in such a long time, so when I put it on my record player, I was like, you know, I actually really love this album. If this came out in 2021, I think it would be on everybody's year-end list. So really good stuff. I don't know. I mean, some people might disagree with me. I know there's gonna be some people that disagree with me in this video, but comes on this really nice green and black like merge. Again, matches the album cover perfectly. So yeah, I feel like they're doing a little bit of an experiment here. I don't really know like the 100% full background on this album or like their thought on it. I'm sure it'll say in the book if I actually read the whole thing. But yeah, everybody always talks about how this is one of the more divisive albums. It definitely sounds the most different out of the previous 5 that they released. But again, I think if for me, when one of my favorite bands tries to do something different, I often love what they do, and I often am a fan of what they do. There is one small exception to that. 9 Inch Nails is one of my favorite bands, but some of the newer stuff that they've put out in recent years, I'm not that big of a fan of, and maybe I just am not in the mood for the more ambient sounding music that they put out. I guess that's the best way of explaining that. But yeah, I mean, there's been other bands that have done several different like changes, and I've always been there and thought that they were fantastic. So anyway, that is the full entire box set. I would say in regards to all the box sets that I own, which I think I have 3 other ones, this is definitely my favorite. And I hope other classic bands do something similar. I know that Metallica recently just released one as a Walmart exclusive, or their first 6 albums. I think it's the first 6. I don't remember. They're all on like special color vinyl editions, and that sold out like crazy. For me, I probably wouldn't have bought that because I really only like the first like 5 albums from Metallica. Like, I'm one of those people. I just can't get into their newer stuff, so unfortunately I don't consider myself a huge mega fan of Metallica for that reason. But yeah, I hope more bands do something similar to this. I would buy the shit out of a Black Sabbath box set, but unfortunately I think it's hard because they're not all released on the same labels, and they have to get licensed out and whatever else. So unfortunately, it's not that simple, but someday I'm hoping to get some box sets that are similar to this. They're just great collector's editions. I know that there's a Dark Throne box set. It's like $1,000 right now. That's definitely out of my budget, but I'll be on the lookout. Maybe I'll get it if somebody actually sells it for a decent price. So anyway, I'm rambling now. So that's it. Please let me know what your favorite Kreator album is in the comments. Again, thank you all for the support. I love interacting with everybody. And as always, follow me on Instagram and my Facebook page. Like it. My Facebook page, I'm just going to be honest with you, it's just going to be copies of what I post on Instagram, and then probably share some videos on YouTube on there. So if you're not an Instagram person, you'll at least be able to see all that. But if you're on Instagram, just follow me there because I'm definitely a lot more active on that. All right. Thanks, guys. Talk to you later.